Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Friday, August 12th. Going to see showers and thunderstorms continuing through the weekend. Seeing some showers and thunderstorms working through the mountains this morning will increase in coverage for this afternoon and into the weekend, with storms shifting further southeast for your Sunday and into Monday. And I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Monsoon moisture continues to work north. What that brings is isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms, primarily during the afternoon and evening hours through about 2 p.m. through around midnight. And with those stronger thunderstorms, those will be able to produce some brief, moderate to heavy rain, leading to some localized flooding concerns and gusty winds in excess of 40 to 50 miles an hour with some small hail. Precipitation continues through the weekend. Another round of strong storms on Saturday, so after another day today, should see those stronger storms continue into Saturday, afternoon and evening, with those storms shifting further southeast for your Sunday into Monday. Mostly dry Monday and Tuesday outside of some storms further south in Utah and east into Wyoming, with monsoon moisture arriving midweek next week. Take a look at satellite this morning. You can see the cloud tops of some of those thunderstorms that are currently tracking through the area, one over in the Teton Valley and one up towards the Grand Jean Stanley area this morning. Outside of those mostly clear skies, weather risk outlook for today, the pretty instability generating for those afternoon thunderstorms for today. So more isolated coverage for further south and east in the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, but more scattered as you get further into the higher terrain. Those scattered showers and storms do move onto the Snake Plain for tomorrow as the frontal boundary does work through the area, so we're expecting some more scattered coverage across the Snake Plain I-15 corridor for your Saturday, with more isolated activity further west in the Magic Valley. More noticeably on Sunday, start to see those precipitation chances finally leaving the weather risk outlook matrix. So as far as at least seeing some drying conditions, at least beginning around that Sunday time frame further west, with Monday and Tuesday just a slight chance for some isolated showers and storms further east along the Wyoming and Utah borders. Take a look at max wind gusts and lightning we saw yesterday. So did have a line of thunderstorms coming up from the north yesterday, which brought wind gusts up to around 40 to 50 miles an hour through the Pocatello up through Rexburg corridor along I-15. Did see some lightning as well with that. Some cloud to ground strikes over 500 were observed yesterday, especially across the central mountains. And max wind gusts so far today. So we had some thunderstorms working through the central mountains early this morning, and they did put out some outflow boundaries. Saw wind gusts up to around 40 to 60 miles an hour out towards the Snake Plain, and those gust fronts did dissipate as they got further south. Did get a gust to around 20 miles an hour here in Pocatello, with winds certainly quieted down, with mostly clear skies to start off your Friday. So Idaho rainfall over the past 24 hours. As you can see further west out towards the Boise area, I did see some more substantial rainfall, especially through the Owyhees and southern Treasure Valley, and that extended well into the central mountains as well. Stanley set a new precipitation record for yesterday, so we're certainly seeing some more monsoonal moisture kind of working through the mountains, expecting that trend to continue through at least tomorrow, becoming more isolated in nature Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect. Do have a flood watch in effect on Riverton, so as far as the Riverton CWA further east for large portions of Wyoming, and you can see that expand further south into Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. Red flag warning to the west does signify that we do have some very dry and warm air on the way, so as this moist air is going to be moving further east over the next couple of days, some warm and dry air will be certainly filling in for early next week. Outlook for today, so we do have a marginal risk for some severe thunderstorms up through the Panhandle in northwest Montana, but outside of that, just a general risk for thunderstorms across the entirety of Idaho. For Saturday, seeing those storms shift further east, again, best potential for some storms at least creeping out towards the Snake Plain, mainly tomorrow as the frontal boundary passes through, so looking at some organized activity, especially along that line. Gusty winds, moderate to heavy rain, and some hail all remain likely possibilities in some of those stronger thunderstorms for your Saturday. And on Sunday, just a less isolated chance again for your Sunday, but as those storms kind of shift further southeast for your weekend, seeing those storms at least dissipate in coverage, especially as we get towards early next week. Excessive rainfall outlook for today, so that slight risk is more going to be confined to western Wyoming for today, and that's pretty much the border regions along Montana, Utah, and Wyoming. So as far as there's a slight chance for some excessive rainfall outlook, storms will be a little quicker moving in the central mountains than further south, but should be a little bit slower, especially as you get further east, so the potential for some heavy localized rain is definitely a concern over that area. For Saturday, that threat does expand to the Snake Plain through Idaho Falls, Pocatello, down through the Burley corridor, with a slight risk expanding to the Montpelier, Bear Lake, up through the southeast highlands. And for Sunday, just about out of the woods for that, but just a slight chance again down towards the South Hills and further east into Wyoming, with the excessive rainfall shifting further east, especially as we get towards next week. Here's a look at the breakdown of the timing for precipitation today. This is one model's interpretation, so not a verbatim, but certainly something to keep an eye on for timing. This morning, we did see a few thunderstorms generating up in the central mountains and a few south cells in the southeast and along the Wyoming border. Those will continue as far as through this morning, primarily south and east of the Snake Plain, just an isolated chance. And then as we get towards this afternoon, thunderstorms will begin developing and producing some rain, generally around 12 to 2 p.m. this afternoon. As you can see in those coverage, best chances for some thunderstorms today, primarily going to be across the central mountains and south hills, over through the Owyhee Mountains as well. And you can also see those thunderstorms generating further south and east of the Snake Plain. So it's going to be mostly a higher terrain today event, especially for the infancy of this afternoon. But as we get towards later in the day, some of those storms could find their way out into the Magic Valley, Snake Plain with that gusty winds, brief moderate to heavy rain potential, especially as we get towards the later part of tonight through this evening. Storms do continue into the overnight hours, generally more isolated in nature, but certainly something to keep in mind. It won't dry out completely until we get to around Sunday into Monday time frame. High temperatures for this afternoon will be fairly consistent from where we've been. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s to up mid-90s. So 84 Island Park, 91 in Pocatello, and 93 as you get towards Twin Falls and Jerome. Weekend high temperatures, not a whole lot to say. Looking at very consistent temperatures. Hard to find a degree or two difference on this map outside of maybe the Sun Valley area. But temperatures overall pretty pleasant in the low 80s to low 90s for your weekend. Slightly cooling for Sunday. As we get towards Monday and Tuesday, temperatures again staying fairly consistent. Pocatello has a forecast high of 91 for the next 5 days. So certainly something to keep in mind. Fairly consistent temperatures as we get through the period. But overall temperatures for your Monday, Tuesday next week will be in the mid-80s to mid-90s. And look at what's to come. 6 to 10 day climate outlook does keep us in some monsoon moisture. So after things do dry out for the early part of next week, do have the chance for some monsoon moisture starting to work back up. Generally around that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. We'll be continuing to track that as it arrives. As you can see further northwest of the area, do have another heat dome establishing across much of northwest Idaho into Washington and Oregon. So we'll be seeing well above normal temperatures there for next week. Might be seeing a little bit of that spillover down here, but as far as 80s, mid-90s, seems like a likely case scenario, keeping us slightly above normal for this time of year. 8 to 14, not keeping a whole lot much the same. So as far as keeping the monsoonal moisture threat at least somewhat lingering across much of southeast Idaho, with those temperatures again remaining above normal. As you can see further north, I do have that below normal favored precipitation starting to work in. So we might see that start to creep down as far as over the next couple of days, but hopefully keep that monsoon moisture streaming into the area. And in summary this morning, that monsoon moisture channel is continuing to work north, bringing those isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms. Main threats for those are going to be that brief moderate to heavy rain, gusty winds, and some small hail, with that precipitation continuing through the weekend. Storm shift southeast for your Sunday, and even further east for Monday along the Wyoming border, with a mostly dry Monday and Tuesday. Monsoon moisture does arrive for midweek next week. Certainly be keeping an eye on that for you. But there wraps up your weather briefing for today, Friday, August 12th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome weekend.